My documentary Here Comes a New Challenger, exploring and celebrating the legacy of Street Fighter II, is now available on Amazon Prime. The documentary delves deep into its creation, its port to the home consoles, the merchandise, the live-action movie, and more. For those who love physical media, you can purchase the Blu-ray from my Shopify store. The Blu-ray is region-free and includes special features. Follow the links below to check it out. Out now on 4K Blu-ray from Shout Factory is Dragon the Bruce Lee Story, the biopic about Bruce's life that was a box office hit back in 1993. Costing roughly $16 million to make, it would earn over $60 million worldwide. There was even a video game based on the film for the home consoles from Virgin Interactive that got a lot of coverage at the time from the gaming press and reviewed well. The film was directed by Rob Cohen, who at that point had mainly worked as a producer, working on movies such as The Monster Squad and The Running Man. After the success of Dragon, he went on to direct Dragonheart, Daylight and The Fast and the Furious. When Dragon the Bruce Lee Story hit home video, it would get a special edition release on Laserdisc in 1995, under Universal Pictures' new Signature Collection label. This would be the first title for their new special editions. The Laserdisc included a wealth of extras, such as storyboards, a making-of featurette, outtakes, trailers, an interview with Bruce Lee, Jason Scott Lee's screen test, which is really impressive, and an audio commentary by Rob Cohen. A couple of years later, in 1998, there would be a DTS release, which I still own in my collection. In regards to its sound formats, during the end credits of the film it lists Dolby Stereo, but on the posters it lists Dolby Stereo Digital. So I believe for the final 35mm prints, they had mixed it in Dolby Digital 5.1, which made the process easier for them to do a DTS version. The special edition release would find its way onto DVD in 1998, in the early days of the format's life. Universal would port over a number of their signature collection releases to DVD, such as Dragonheart, Street Fighter and Daylight for example. The Dragon DVD has an introduction by Linda Lee Cadwell, saying welcome to this special Laserdisc edition. So clearly they were just porting everything over to make a quick profit. They would get 5.1 Dolby Digital tracks and all the extras, but the picture on some of these releases wouldn't be enhanced to 16:9, so to fit your widescreen TV you would have to zoom in on the picture to fill the screen like the days of Laserdisc. So the picture wasn't a major improvement, but later re-releases would correct this problem, but Dragon the Bruce Lee Story would be stuck with a non-anamorphic transfer until Blu-ray. If you lived in the UK, Dragon would be cut by around 28 seconds by the BBFC to trim down the end battle with Bruce and the Demon Samurai that had been haunting him throughout the entire picture. Bruce uses his famous nunchucks to defeat it. The BBFC historically don't like nunchucks and remove them, but couldn't remove the entire scene, so what you don't see is them hanging on the statue and the following shot with Bruce threatening the demon as he spins them around before he strikes. So for me as a teenager watching the American Laserdisc for the first time, I was blown away seeing the nunchucks in action. Dragon would come to Blu-ray in 2015. The cutscenes would be restored to the UK release. The picture, however, wasn't amazing, scoring average reviews at the time, with a slightly washed out and soft picture, certainly an improvement over the old crappy DVD, but it was clear the film needed a new, fresh transfer, especially for a release from 2015. Universal may have sourced an old master, perhaps one used for an HD TV broadcast. The new 4K is region free, though the standard Blu-ray is locked to region A, and sadly doesn't feature any new special features, and just brings over the legacy Laserdisc extras, which are included on the standard Blu-ray, which is a downscale of the 4K, so you are getting a new transfer but in 1080p. For the sound options we get DTS 5.1 and a 2.0 stereo track, which is always handy for those soundbars. Playing a movie with a 5.1 or 7.1 mix through a regular soundbar is a pain in the bum, as you are constantly adjusting the volume as the sound effects are too loud and the dialogue is too quiet, so with a decent stereo mix it solves that problem. The DTS 5.1 mix is very dynamic, it has lots of bass and has a wide soundstage, just as good as the old Laserdisc. The film was encoded in HDR Dolby Vision, and I'm very happy to report the upgrade to 4K is a big improvement. There is a lot of extra detail on screen, and the colours appear more balanced with skin tones. Early transfers were a bit oversaturated in areas, and if you go back to the 35mm trailers, the colours certainly pop a lot more, giving off a warmer look. If you compare this to the old Laserdisc, which is soft and way oversaturated, the non-anamorphic DVD, which may appear sharper than the Laserdisc, actually looks very digital and noisy. The Blu-ray from 2015 is a big step up over the old DVD, that's for sure. Then jumping to 4K, you can see a nice improvement. With it being shot on anamorphic 35mm film, at this resolution, it really helps the natural detail shine through. The film does have an inherent softness to it. This comes with the style of photography of shooting a period piece. If you are a fan of Bruce Lee and know his history, then you know this film takes major liberties with the historical accuracy of his life. The film is based on Linda Lee Cadwell's book Bruce Lee, the Man Only I Knew from 1975, and many things are changed to fit Rob Cohen's new narrative. The film gets a number of things wrong, but these are the ones that always bugged me. They make no mention of his mother and siblings. Bruce in real life hurt his back lifting weights, not in a fight. A fight did take place due to Bruce training non-Chinese people martial arts, which the local community didn't like. So he was challenged and he won the battle and got to continue training his students. I can see why Rob Cohen mixed the two events to create something more dramatic, which happens a lot with biopics, as it's not beat for beat the same as Linda's book. It's inspired by, hence why things are changed. But if you are watching it and very knowledgeable about Bruce and his life, I imagine you were a bit amused by the changes. Other issues pop up, such as Bruce Lee was already running his own school in Seattle when he met Linda. He did not open the school at her suggestion, as the film indicates. His book wasn't published during his life, but in 1979, and Bruce didn't get into a fight at the karate tournament. He was there to exhibit his style of martial arts, and famously demonstrated the 1-inch punch. But what we see in the film is a really emotional moment, especially when Jason delivers the final blow and flying kicks the guy out the ring and lets off a massive Bruce Lee style scream. Despite its changes to Bruce Lee's history, it's still a bloody good film. Jason Scott Lee may not look like Bruce, but he captures his charm, energy, mannerisms and spirit on camera perfectly, and he sells the action really well. Despite having no martial arts training beforehand, he trained with one of Bruce's students, Jerry Poteet, to learn the style of Jeet Kune Do, and Jason comes across on camera like he's been training for years. Surprisingly, Jason continued training and is now a certified instructor, which is pretty awesome. The film has many great scenes and it has a strong emotional arc to it. The chemistry between Jason and Lauren Holly works extremely well. There is tension there for those difficult moments, and you see their love on screen to make you believe that their relationship is real. When Bruce finally gets the respect he deserves at the premiere of The Big Boss and the crowd cheer, it always gets me a bit teary-eyed. It's a powerful moment. The fight on the set of The Big Boss is very intense, as he smashes those ice blocks and stamps on the guy's chest. The battle with the demon on the set of Enter the Dragon as he appears around him and charges through the glass and shows Bruce's own grave. Proper fantasy bollocks at this point, but man, I love it. It's so entertaining and you really get into it, because by that point you are emotionally charged and invested, and Randy Edelman's score is just smashing it out of the park. The score by Randy is incredible. I think it's one of his best scores, and it sounds like it should be the theme for Bruce Lee. The music represents who he was and what he achieved in life. I think any sort of tribute to Bruce Lee should be accompanied by this music. If you are a fan of the film, then it's definitely worth the upgrade, but bear in mind you are paying like over $30 for an improved picture. That's it. There is no new extra content. It would have been great if a new interview with Jason Scott Lee was included, with him discussing his experience making the film and its legacy. But if you are a Bruce Lee fanatic and think the film's plot and its historical inaccuracies are annoying, then fair enough. But I put those factual errors aside and just enjoy it for what it is. The performances are brilliant, it's nicely photographed, the action is staged and shot well, and the score is amazing. After 30 years, I'm still a fan of Dragon, the Bruce Lee story. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to click the like button and hit the bell to be notified of my latest reviews. Big thanks to my patrons and YouTube members for supporting the channel. If you want to get involved and gain access to exclusive videos and take part in Q&As, follow the link below.